How are you doing, people? Hope you are well, training hard and consistently. So the theme of today's chat was about how fit someone can get at 59. Just to let you know what I'm doing here, this was a 20-minute blast of Navy SEAL burpees before I played squash. I do like to try and do that sometimes to test myself during the squash game by starting it already fatigued. Although to be fair, the game is a sort of condition game with certain restrictions, but we play for about an hour, so it's a good test of concentration as well as extending my total workout time. Anyway, how fit can you get at this sort of age? Well, I started doing these military style burpees, which was a new exercise for me, I think about 18 months ago. Anyone who's seen a few of my videos will know and can see here I have this wide stance, and that's because 30 years of playing competitive squash adapts your anatomy specifically for being pretty good at a long-reaching lunge, but not so good at leaning back for a good form deep squat. And I found that the fact that I naturally lean forward a little was putting a stress on my smaller quad muscles, but if I widened the stance, it eased it. It's also much better for the lower back this way, if any of you have lower back issues. Don't think though that this way is much easier, because you still have to get up and down, and what I found is there's a little less on the legs but a little more on the shoulders, moving from that wide stance position to the plank position. Anyway, it still produces a tremendous muscle stimulus and is a great exercise to add to any training schedule. Now, when I started these Navy SEALs, I think I was around the 108 to 112 mark for 20 minutes. I did perform push-ups as part of my usual training, but not to that extent. But the point here is that I did improve, and over that time managed to get the Busy Dad graduation levels of 325 6 counts in 20 minutes and 150 Navy SEALs in 20 minutes. I do have those workouts posted on the channel. So regardless of technique or form, the numbers did improve, so muscle development was obviously still happening at this age. Now, there are a few other factors involved. I am someone who's trained for decades playing professional squash. A day at the office was a day of intense physical training, and I think the word intense is the word that comes to mind to me the most. When I was improving with the burpees, I would give a best effort for 20 minutes, then have 5 minutes rest, then give another best effort for 5 minutes, another 5 minutes rest, and then another best effort for 5 minutes. It's the intensity that improved me. The long steady grinds are okay to build a background, but after that it's all about the intensity. What I see is that as people get older, they drop the intensity. Now, sometimes you can't do anything about that if you've got a few niggles or a few injuries, but one trick is to somewhere along the line in your workout inject some intensity, just a short burst of some sort, or schedule in a shorter session of whatever type of training you do, but a more intense session. One example from my past years is that I used to do a lot of court sprints. I say a lot. In my time, I've done tens and tens of thousands of them. One workout that I had was I had to do 22 court sprints on the squash court in a minute. I then had 45 seconds rest and would go again. I also lunged and touched the floor at each end. It wasn't a flat out pace, but it was a tough pace to maintain. Now, if I did, let's say 11 sets in under a minute of those 22 sprints, that workout would last less than 20 minutes, but was like a super injection of fitness, even for a match that might last over an hour and a half. However, if at some point I did a session of just 3 sets, but 24 in a minute, that would boost me even more. The increase in intensity actually boosted my endurance, and this is something I've noticed time and time again over the years. The increase in intensity can increase your endurance. Now, of course, to even attempt a higher level of intensity, you've got to be pretty fresh, injury-free, very well warmed up and mentally up for it. But to squeeze that in somewhere really unlocks a higher level of strength and fitness. I do also realise that most workouts are done feeling maybe 60 or 70%, and that's another good reason to always finish on a finishing burst at the end, or try and go for it at the start. It doesn't matter if you burn out, because your muscles will remember and adapt accordingly. Personally, how fit I could actually get now, I'm not sure. because there are so many other things in my life, mainly family and work commitments. Back in the day, I was living and breathing training and managed to achieve some huge but high intensity sessions. But the key thing is here, don't think you won't get much of a response from your body at this sort of age, because you will. The trick is doing the right sort of training. Anyway, I'll leave you to a bit more of my jiggling about here. If anyone is interested in getting fitter and going from dad bod to fit bod, email me at the address in the intro. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next one.
You're such a drag. What's your feel like never having no real life? I don't know how you deal. I can't imagine your pain. I'm just minding my business, but you're so in your feels. There's something wrong with your brain. 'Cause every time you talk it sound like blah, 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 blah. I'm just hearing blah, 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 blah. Every time you talk it sound like blah, 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 blah. I'm just hearing blah, 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 blah. Every time you talk it sound like who hurt you. I wonder who made you so mad. Tell me, where did you learn to be so negative? You're such a drag. What's your feel like never having no real life? I don't know how you deal. I can't imagine your pain. I'm just minding my business, but you're so in your feels. There's something wrong with your brain. 'Cause every time you talk it sound like blah, 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 blah. I'm just hearing blah, 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 blah. Every time you talk it sound like blah, 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 blah. I'm just hearing blah, 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 blah. Every time you talk it sound like blah. Your life must be so boring, boring out of your mind. Am I your entertainment? I promise I'm not even trying. Green really isn't your color. Please just give it a rest. If last time made you unhappy, wait till you see what happens next. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just hearing blah, 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 blah. Every time you talk it sound